Welcome to the Hudson Show. Coming up, why it already might be time to say goodbye to Tally the Elf.
Also, does actor Timothee Chalamet have legitimate ball knowledge?
All that and more on the way next. It's the holiday season. It means a lot of people are in the giving mood. The problem is a lot of people seem to also be in the taking mood at this time of year, as evidenced on TikTok by somebody who thought they were being nice by leaving out a pile of snacks for Amazon delivery drivers, because they work hard, long days, delivered a lot of packages, got to move fast. Maybe a nice little treat wouldn't be so bad. The problem is the very first guy to stumble upon the stash of snacks didn't leave any for anybody else.
Oh, no.
He stuffs his pockets with absolutely every Slim Jim there is that was left out on the porch. He's like, I'm going to be eating good I got snacks for days now.
Oh, my goodness.
And this was all caught on a Ring camera, a video doorbell. So now it's been left to TikTok and us to decide whether we want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt or if he is, I don't know, a thieving Amazon delivery driver.
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking at the picture from the video. Obviously, I haven't watched the video itself to see if he's just like stuffing his pockets full. Oh,
that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. But what are you doing? Just leave a few behind for your other delivery driver friends.
It's not a good look.
No, he just keeps adding more and more.
He couldn't just take them all at once. He had to slowly matriculate them all into his pockets. But part of me just does want to say, like, I don't know what it's like being an Amazon delivery driver. Every time I see them, it feels like it's a different person. Yeah. But maybe he's like, I'm the guy that delivers to this house. So I'm the guy these are all for me.
All for...
I can definitely see, like, it wasn't him trying to get one over on everyone. It was just like, oh, wow, these are all for me. This is so nice. And winds up taking them all. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I want to be nicer to him. I hope, whether it is the worst case scenario and he was just like, I'm getting all these for myself, or he was like, oh, this is so nice. Either way, I hope this doesn't discourage other people from putting out snacks for Amazon delivery drivers, because it is a nice thing to do. And I'm sure many of them appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a busy time of year, the busiest for delivery drivers with this Christmas season. So they definitely have, as we said, a very hard job, and they're very busy right now. But it's not just Amazon delivery drivers out there. There's UPS, there's USPS, there's FedEx, there's so many others, DHL, whatever. And so, sorry, Amazon, you can't have it all.
You cannot have it all, even though you deliver just about
everything.
Some of everything. It says that Amazon delivery drivers can deliver up to 350 packages per shift, making up to 190 stops.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some postal workers, though, that are like, that's nothing.
Right.
We do that all, and I walk it the entire time. But if you are the type of person that maybe wants to leave some snacks out, do something nice this holidays, I have a whole long list of what Amazon delivery drivers on Reddit claim that they would like to see.
Really?
Somebody asked.
Okay.
Bottled water, sweet tea, protein bars, candy, cookies, chips, Gatorade, granola bars, jerky, cheese sticks, peanuts, and juice.
Yeah, that makes sense. That adds up.
Snackable, transportable.
Yep.
And hopefully won't make a mess in the Amazon vehicle.
All of those, for the most part, other than whatever chips you try and get and granola bars, for the most part, all of those are like, they don't leave behind a residue. I personally feel like jerky is the best, like, road trip food.
Oh, I would feel like a million. If somebody gave me jerky now, I'd be like, wow, you really appreciate me.
Right.
You really love me. I don't make enough as an Amazon delivery driver or a radio host to make enough to afford jerky. So I would appreciate that the most. That's a great choice. Do something nice for your delivery drivers this year. They're working hard. Now, I just saw this, that Kim Kardashian, Skims is her clothing brand, right?
Yeah.
They are teaming up with North Face to put out a line of skiing gear. And I've got at least one person here warning you that you should absolutely not go skiing in this Skims North Face collab.
Yeah.
The reason why, and this is, I don't know why I'm laughing.
It's a valid reason.
The reason why is because if you're skiing and you're wearing this Kim Kardashian skiing equipment and there's an avalanche, people won't be able to find you.
You're done for.
Yeah.
Not only because of the avalanche, but because, like you said, no one is going to be able to see these neutral colorways in the snow because it's all like light beige, tan, and brown.
They're like mostly skin tone.
Yeah, which is what Skims is known for. So I get why they went for that. That's brand, it makes sense for their brand. But yeah, it is. It's funny that it had to take someone on TikTok to point this out, to be like, please do not go skiing in these, because if there is an accident, you will not be found.
Are you a big skier?
I have never been skiing before, but this just makes perfect sense to me. Of course I knew this. I've seen videos online of people getting rescued from avalanches or weird falls where they injure their, leg on a snowboard or something like that. And how do people find them? They find them because they're wearing a neon green, suit or something like that. Because the whole time this is going on, I was thinking, what realistically are the odds of you skiing in an avalanche? I mean, I don't know what the odds are of that happening, but I know people say the same thing about when you're swimming in the ocean. Don't wear colors that blend in with the ocean water. Wear colors that, are a little brighter and can stand out. So I feel like this just applies when you're doing something that has a little bit of some chance for danger in it. Maybe wear something that can be seen from far away. I was thinking two things. I was thinking, the avalanche thing, I like, again, realistically, what are the chances, right? Of particularly, like, unless maybe you're in the Rocky Mountains, but still, how many times do you hear avalanche in the Rocky Mountains? The skiers will never find them. I'm sure it happens occasionally. Yeah. But then I was thinking, if you are the type of person that's that extreme of a skier that does go skiing in situations where there could be an avalanche or where it is an actual danger, you probably don't need this woman on TikTok or Instagram to tell you. And you're also probably not wearing Skims gear. You're probably wearing the real ski stuff. This is for people like me that just want to look good and don't care about safety. Well, and I think that's what it was made for, is it's made for more people that are casual. You stick to the bunny slope type of deal. You're not going on Black Diamond. So now I'm sure that it has the price tag. Yes. That because it carries Kim Kardashian and North Face with it, that probably makes you think, I better be a real avid skier to be able to buy this. But I think the real skiers know, and us casuals that just care about looking good, that this is still fine. Yeah. I do think it's funny because there were some people in the comments of this TikTok that were disagreeing with the girl that was pointing out that you should wear like noticeable neon colors when you're going to ski. And someone was like, here in Australia, all the skiers wear black. And I'm like, first of all, why are you skiing in Australia? But second of all, black against the snow is very visible. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that before. So I thought that was kind of funny. I just don't. You don't buy it? I'm just not worried about it. I'm really not worried. I'll defend Kim Kardashian. I'll be here. You'll defend her. Yeah. Until there's actually a lawsuit because somebody breaks their leg and takes extra time getting found because they wore Skims. Yep. Last night, I participated in a global phenomenon. I got in on the Moana 2 train. I went and saw it for $6 movie night. And let me say that I guess I was disappointed. Oh, really? I was a little disappointed. Oh. I'll say there's positives and negatives to Moana 2. Okay. There's worse kids' movies I've seen by a long shot. I'll put that caveat in there. But because it's made so much money, I feel, and Moana, the first one was great. Right. I feel like I had higher hopes. Yeah. And this one, if it did not have Moana, the initial one, to hang its hat on,
I feel like we'd all see Moana 2 much differently.
Yeah.
I really don't think this would be the kind of movie without Moana 1 that would be breaking records and that would start a franchise.
I'm honestly shocked, even with Moana 1, that it's been doing so well, like the first Moana. So, I've been shocked by that entirely because the reviews that I heard were kind of more middling, saying it's trying to recapture the magic of the first Moana film, but it's just not quite getting there.
Much of what I was thinking with this Moana, and you know what, this happens a lot of times with sequels generally, but much of what I felt in Moana 2 was that it was like a knockoff, like they had somebody else come in, and I don't know all the creators behind it, whatever, but it just felt like they had somebody watch the first Moana that wasn't involved in it whatsoever, and then be like, make another movie like that.
Right.
And so they really tried their darndest, but it just comes across feeling like not quite like the actual real thing.
Yeah.
Even though visually, now I will say this, visually it is amazing. Like the animation of it, the colors and the way they are able to do all the water, of course, that's involved. And just some of the like the way they bring back the Kokomora or whatever they're called. There's a giant clam that shows up. Like that's all of that is very visually interesting. Yeah. So they did a great job with that. But there's just like the rest of the movie, a lot of the motivation of like Moana and the plot of what she has to do. I'm like, why does she have to do this again? Also, and this is the worst part. And I just so happened to see this morning that I'm not alone in thinking this. This is like one of the major criticisms. Is that the song, like you think the first Moana, you think the songs are great.
Right, they are.
There's You're Welcome, amazing. How Far I'll Go. People are still singing that.
Yep.
Shiny, of course, possibly the best out of all of them.
Love that song.
Spoiler alert, I hate to break this to you, that crab not involved in the second movie at all.
No Shiny reprise?
Not only is there not a Shiny reprise, not only is that crab not involved at all, but none of the songs are near the level of the first Moana, and that was the big disappointment to me. I was like, at least there'll be some fun sing-along stuff, because like the first Moana, you're singing the songs before they're even over. Like they're that good.
Yeah.
These ones I've already forgotten about most of them.
Oh.
And what I found was, I picked up on this during the movie. I was like, I feel like these aren't written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. He wasn't involved at all. Really? And then when I saw the credits, yes. And then this morning, a story just popped up, and it's like, here's why he wasn't involved. And it was because he was busy doing Mufasa music. So the hand strikes and gives a flower. If you're disappointed like me by the Moana 2 songs, the good news is there's Lin-Manuel Miranda music in Mufasa coming up in about a month. Yeah, or a couple weeks, actually.
Right, Mufasa's coming out soon, so we will get new songs. But yeah, that's not surprising. I feel like the reviews I've heard have been so mid that it made me think, okay, there must not be very catchy songs, and the story must not be that great.
Now, are we on the same page here, though, that in the first Moana, the best part is Shiny?
I love Shiny. I think it's one of the best Disney songs ever, but I am also a person that is addicted to Disney villain songs. I just think they put so much more effort into the villain songs sometimes because they just make them so fun and interesting. So I love the villain
They
ones.
have to make them likable.
Yeah.
Right? Because the song likable, even though the person isn't, or the individual isn't. Let's do this then. Let's open up the Hudson hotline.
877-2-RADIO-U.
What is the best Disney villain song?
Oh,
Is it Shiny?
it's so hard to pick.
That's
There's
up
so
there.
many good ones.
Send us your favorite Disney villain songs at 877-2-RADIO-U. And Andrea says Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
So good.
You think about Beauty and the Beast, it actually has multiple villain songs because there's that and there's Kill the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But Gaston's so good. So good.
Tiffany says from the OG Little Mermaid, Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Yes. Got to go with the original.
Yeah. And Ursula is so intimidating, too.
I was scared by Ursula watching that movie, not going to lie.
This is a little more of a deep cut, I would say. Chad says Mad Madam Mim from Sword in the Stone.
Definitely a throwback.
I don't know if I've ever even seen that, actually.
Really? Sword in the Stone's a good one.
100% sure. Eric says, as soon as I heard Love is an Open Door, I knew Hans was the villain in Frozen. Dang. You want to know a fun fact about me is I sing the girl part in Love is an Open Door.
Oh, yeah. Love is an open door.
Yeah.
So good. Not a villain song, though.
Well, yeah, technically, kind of.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Ben says, okay, this is not a villain song. It is goated, though. Eye to Eye from the Goofy.
I know. I was like, I almost didn't mention it. I was like, Eye to Eye is a great song, but it is not a villain song.
I was thinking about the Goofy movie, though. Here's what I got distracted. I read somebody else's text. If you haven't done this, try to find Jason from Death Therapy on TikTok, and he does a metal version of Eye to Eye.
Really?
He does a metal version of many Disney songs.
Okay.
Definitely worth getting down that rabbit hole. Carrie says, Shiny is the best. Second place, we don't talk about Bruno.
Okay, that was a good one as well.
Chad says, the crab was in Moana 2 after the first set of credits. Chad, you think I'm staying after the credits for Moana 2?
Okay, but
I guess I should have.
It was, maybe it was a good part.
I've always said this, though. I've always said this. This is one of my hills that I will die on. If your end credit scene is so good, make it during the actual movie. Do you think I'm going to stay around for the credits?
Yeah.
That better be an amazing end credit scene.
Don't want to be disappointed after sitting there the whole time.
Yeah. Corey says the best Disney song that didn't make it to the movie is Snuff Out the Light by Eartha Kitt and Emperor's New Groove. Love Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Do you know this Corey person?
I do.
Do you know this song he's talking about?
I do. Yes. That's a good people
You want
are
to talk about deep cuts.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Didn't even make it into the movie.
That's really good ones. Oh, I have to agree with David. Be Prepared from Lion King. Oh, man. I think that's what started my love for Disney villain songs.
Yeah.
That's just a great one.
I feel like there may be other more fun songs, but Be Prepared felt, even though there was, Poor Unfortunate Souls beforehand, and I guess Beauty and the Beast was older too. Be Prepared feels like the forerunner. It just feels like the top of the pyramid.
Right. I think Poor Unfortunate Souls started the run, but definitely Be Prepared is what solidified it.
And nobody's mentioned this yet. Friends on the Other Side. Joseph brought that up.
I love that one. I was waiting for someone to bring that one. He's got Friends on the Other Side.
Yeah.
He also mentions one of my favorites, which is Hellfire from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And that one is also very good.
I think I was too scared of Hunchback to be able to remember that song and like it.
It's so good.
But I might have to, as an adult, give that a shot. Let's put some respect on Timothee Chalamet's name. It's about time he gets his due. Because I don't know if you saw on College Game Day over the weekend, he was the guest picker. Mm-hmm. And people, I feel like a lot of times have low expectations of the guest picker when it's a celebrity, when it's an actor or musician. But Timothee Chalamet came out there and proved that he knows his stuff.
He knows ball.
To many people, at least, where he brought the stats, he brought the info, to make some seemingly informed predictions. Although I did see some detractors saying that, he's just an actor reading he's just
come on,
faking it.
He clearly knew what he was talking about.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But if you had any doubts, there's been more information that has come to light about Timothee Chalamet that has shown that he's a lifelong sports fan.
Yeah.
So he should know his stuff. People have dug up pictures of him online. How old is he in this picture? Do we know?
I don't know. He's got to be like 12 years old.
Yeah. Timothee Chalamet. I don't know what year this is from, but it's several years ago. It's long enough ago that Landry Fields and Andy Routens were still on the Knicks. They were rookies with the Knicks. And apparently at this time, Timothee Chalamet tracked them down for some kind of competition that they were holding on their social media, and got to have a picture with them and stuff. And I think he won some tickets.
Won free tickets.
So you can see him with, I guess is that Grand Central Station?
It looks like Grand Central Station in the background.
And he's with Andy Routens, who is a Syracuse legend, forgotten New York Knicks player, and Landry Fields, and young Timothee Chalamet looking exactly the same, except with the longest neck you've ever seen. And yeah, he couldn't have done this if he didn't know his stuff about the Knicks back then.
Right. Yeah, that definitely proves it. I think to me what proves more that he knows ball than anything else is that he was the only one and at college game day at the desk to predict that the Ohio Bobcats would win the MAC championship. He was the only one that did it. Everyone else picked Miami of Ohio.
That shows that he may be knowledgeable about ball to a fault. If he actually knows to be able to accurately predict MAC championship results.
Right.
He might need to find some balance in his life.
Well, to me, it's like if you're seeing, because you got 3 people in front of you all picking Miami to win this game.
And they're supposed actual
this is their job, you know, to pick football games. And you're the one that's an actor, and you're going to be like, I'm the only one on the panel here going for Ohio University. But he went with it.
He didn't back down.
He got it right.
Maybe he's a better. Because that's the only reason.
I know. There are some of those pickers that I feel like probably are better.
I do feel like he is more of an everyman than we realize, because he's obviously like a huge sports nerd.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever seen the videos from his old YouTube channel back in the day before he was famous called Modded Controller 360. Xbox controllers that he had customized himself.
Oh, he just sounds like the rest of us.
Yeah, he's, you have this idea of Hollywood folks, especially Timothee Chalamet. He seems like a pretty boy, but he's just as dorky as any of us.
Yeah.
Probably dorkier. And maybe that's what makes him so good at acting.
It's true.
He gets obsessive over things like Willy Wonka and Bob Dylan and Xbox controllers. We are doing Would You Rather Wednesday. This question comes from Bailey at 8772 RadioU saying, would you rather be stranded, be lost on a deserted island, or be lost on Mount Everest? Some good answers coming in. D says, I'll take the desert island. At least there's water on an island. And then Regina coming back with exactly the opposite. I'll go with Mount Everest because at least there'd be snow to keep me hydrated.
Oh, interesting.
Both sides coming up with ways to stay hydrated.
Yep.
Mickey says definitely desert island. Desert.
He gave us desert island.
Desert island. Mount Everest, you'll probably just end up freezing to death. At least you have the hope of surviving on an island. Mm-hmm. That's too long. We have Eric who says, and this probably sums up the most my thoughts. Either way, I'm not making it out alive. Might as well pick the view I prefer, desert island.
Okay.
I think I like that. And then Luke says, island, hands down. You could actually eat okay on an island. There's no food on Mount Everest. So I've been persuaded between Luke and Eric. They've convinced me that the island is the way to go, which is counterintuitive for me because I'm afraid of the ocean.
Okay.
For simply this exact reason. If you get lost in the ocean, you're going to be hard to find. Mm-hmm. But if you get lost on Mount Everest, what hope do you have?
Yeah, that's true. I will say my choice might surprise people.
Okay.
It's Mount Everest. I think, first of all, on a desert island, you're not going to run into any people because it's deserted. But also on Mount Everest, if you are on Mount Everest, it's during climbing season.
Okay.
Which is very small time during the year.
Right.
Which means there's hundreds of people climbing Mount Everest at that time. So the chances of you getting found are higher because there's more people around. Mm-hmm. So I do think, there's a time limit because if you're in the death zone, you only have like 40 hours before you need to get out of there or else you will die. And obviously the cold and all of that stuff needs to be factored in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like if I have any chance of being found, it's on Mount Everest because there's people more likely.
That's true.
So maybe that. But I will tell you one thing. I won't be wearing Kim Kardashian's Skims.
No, of course not. Of course not. Let's see. Max simply says the island is way better. John says, if it's vegetation, sustainability, and accessibility thing for me, if you want to compare Mount Everest to a desert island, I prefer the island. You have endless water to purify, different types of plants and fruits to choose from, and wildlife would be able to provide the source of protein as well as other plants and life. Life sustainability on Mount Everest is very slim to none.
Yeah.
I think he has taken what I was thinking and put it much more.
You're thinking long
coherently.
Game. I'm thinking I want to be found in the next a couple hours here. I don't want to be left on that island for weeks trying to survive like Robinson Crusoe over here.
You are decidedly in the minority here. Susanna says, island is infinitely better than Everest. My only fear greater than the ocean is mountaineering. Brian says desert island cold sucks. Think about how cold is it?
Extremely
it is on Everest. And you know this, right? Because you know about the climbing season. It's like tens of thousands of dollars to climb Mount Everest.
You'll
be in your last moments. You'll be like, dang it,
why did I spend this money to die?
$50,000 to kill myself.
Dude, I think that all the time about people that make the decision to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so dumb.
You can get stranded on a desert island for almost nothing. If just a few things go wrong. The island it is. This is a Would You Rather Wednesday where I think there's a right answer and a wrong answer. I think you're wrong. The fun might be over at Disney World. Tally the Elf went viral earlier the last few days and weeks for performing in one of the Disney World Christmas parades.
Yep.
Tally is an elf with attitude, a whole lot of zazz that lets people know whether they are on the nice or naughty list this year. Here's the problem. Some Disney fanatics have let things get a little out of hand. They found out the performer behind Tally the Elf started posting that information online, shouting out Tally's real name to try to get Tally's attention.
Yeah.
At the parade and so on and so forth, to now the point where Disney may have wound up pulling the character because some people let real life and fun at Disney World get too intertwined.
This is so sad, but I also feel like unfortunately predictable. We saw Tally go viral really out of nowhere over the past couple of days. And one of the things I was talking about with some of my friends and family that have been watching these Tally videos is we love them so much, but we were worried about this happening, about some weirdos ruining this fun by being, too extreme and wanting to try and find who this guy really was. Why do you need to do this? Why? It's just, you're ruining the fun for all of us. And also, this character, this guy clearly he's having so much fun playing this character. He loves what he's doing, and you just ruined it for him and for all the rest of us.
Yeah, for so many people that could be getting a whole lot of fun and enjoyment. And that now, you think about their Disney vacation. Hopefully this solely doesn't ruin it.
Yeah.
But they were going to go to Disney World anyway. And I remember when I was a kid going to Disney World, you'd read books, you'd watch videos, you get all fired up about this is what's coming up at Disney World. So there's probably a ton of people that are like, oh, we're going to Disney World. We're going to see Tally the Elf.
Yeah.
Now, possibly no Tally the Elf.
Possibly no Tally the Elf. There's reports as of yesterday that there still was a Tally character telling people who they were on the nice and naughty list, but it was a total different actor playing him.
Not the same.
Not the same experience. And for those that were looking forward to seeing Tally, you were probably very disappointed. And there are reports now that Disney might just pull the character overall because they've done this in the past when people have gotten out of hand, when stalking has happened and people's real names are released and the anonymity of the character is lost, they pull the character.
And I just don't know the people that do go ahead and stalk these Disney performers, for example. What is their end game?
Yeah.
What is the best case scenario? You think Tally, the performer that portrays Tally the Elf, what are they going to be, your friend or something?
Right.
You think you guys are going to hang out? Or he's going to invite you into Disney World or something? Hey, you found me on socials. Here's some free tickets.
Right.
Doesn't know. This is insane-o behavior.
It's total insane and total insanity, total delusion. And unfortunately, there are people in this world that they can't enjoy things. They can't just let it be how it is to not know who this guy is. It's okay to not know things.
Yeah. It's not enough to just enjoy an experience at Disney World or enjoy something even vicariously online through others. You have to insert yourself into it until it goes too far.
Right.
Sucks.
Those little twerps.
Yeah. People on TikTok are embracing a lifestyle that has come to be known as airport rules. Now, to me, when I think airport rules, I think dropping all my belongings by an electrical outlet, crying because of how much money I'm spending, and about how I'm using my vacation time to go visit my in-laws again. But for people online, airport rules means basically an excuse to drink whenever you want, is what it sounds like to me.
Oh, my goodness.
It traces its roots back to election night where some people were claiming election day was airport rules as a way for you to cope with, dealing with the stress of the election.
Yeah.
And so the idea being, if you want to wear your pajamas all day, go for it. You want to have some alcohol at 9:30 a.m.? I'm not going to encourage it, but I won't judge you. Like, these are things people were saying. And now somehow this lifestyle has continued on all the way until now. People have continued to use this. I guess it's just kind of a thing you come back to anytime you get a stressful day.
Right.
You're like, it's airport rules today.
Well, to me, like you said, with the whole airport thing, I don't think of it as some type of something that would relieve stress. I did grow up in Africa, and so I was traveling a lot with my family, including some flights that were way too long, like 16 hours long.
Yeah.
Because it does take a while to get to Africa from the United States of America, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I don't think of airports as something where I'm like, yep, I want to relieve stress. Let me live by airport rules currently. So, yeah.
I guess the idea is when you are at an airport, oftentimes, unless you're returning from a vacation or something, the airport is a stressful place. And so these are the things that you do at an airport to relieve stress. You eat whatever you want, even if it doesn't make sense for the time of day. Yet again, many people overspend on alcohol at odd times of the morning and throughout the night and whatever. You go in your pajamas and you just you can't have any cares outside of the airport. So you just do whatever you need in there to make it through.
Right. I guess that part of it does make sense, but I just don't think I would want to live this lifestyle. I also, for whatever reason, reading this, all it reminded me of was the movie The Terminal, starring Tom Hanks, where he has to live in the airport because his country is at war and he's no longer viewed as a citizen of any country anymore, and he's just stuck in a terminal. That's all this made me think of. That doesn't seem very fun.
Yeah. How long would you actually? This is why airport rules. It does have to be an only once in a while thing. Because how long would you realistically want to live at it? The longer you're at an airport, the more you hate it.
Yeah, the more you're like, get me out.
You're not well, I'm really starting to settle in here. That does not happen at an airport. I've had 8-hour layovers. That's probably the longest I've done. And the whole time I'm just thinking, how can I leave? Can I leave and come back?
Right.
Because I don't want to be here.
Right. Oh, yeah. We used to have 9-hour layovers in London. And it's just enough time where you can go do something, but also not enough time where you can do something worthwhile in London.
And you run the risk of ruining your flight.
Right. So it's a tough life out there in those airports.
Yeah, I don't know about if I can really, truly sign off on airport rules. I don't think that is a way to live. How happy are you feeling right now?
Why?
Because I have a list of the happiest and unhappiest states. According to Wallet Hub, they just put this out based off of what things would make you happy. Good career satisfaction, physical health, social well-being in your state. The things that might hold you back: depression, unemployment, suicide rates.
Ooh.
They took it all into account, and now we have a stack ranking of all 50 states, which are the happiest and unhappiest. This may come as a shock to you. Hawaii is the happiest state.
They're all so laid back there.
Yeah, it's no surprise to me. I know that Hawaii has probably a higher cost of living, and it's not like there's no issues there, but at the same time, you're living in an island paradise. How upset could you possibly be?
Yeah.
Apparently not very, because it is the happiest state in the country, according to Wallet Hub. You might be wondering, what's the most unhappy state? Would you like to guess?
I feel like I don't know. It's definitely somewhat, because the way that they rated this, it has to be some state that's got extremely low, or high rates of unemployment, things where it's just the economy is probably not great or whatever. So, but the economy's not great everywhere. So, and it's hard to determine this.
So you're just not going to guess.
I don't know.
Say a state. Just say a state.
I don't know. I don't want to pick a state. I don't want to say.
It's not Hawaii. You have a 1 in 49 chance.
I don't want to pick a state, Hudson.
It's Louisiana. Louisiana is the most unhappy state.
Really?
Yeah. I was a little surprised that it was Louisiana, but I've seen enough of these lists to know especially from Wallet Hub, they always pick states in the South as the South and like the Rust Belt do not really score well on any of these metrics.
I definitely thought they were going to go with Appalachia.
Yeah.
I was born in West Virginia. I thought they were going to go for West Virginia because I've seen some of these lists too, and they usually put states like that on there, and I'm always like, come on, what's up with the hatred?
You're not far off. West Virginia was the third most unhappy state.
Not shocked by that.
Behind Louisiana and Arkansas. And all the other states there at the bottom are Tennessee, New Mexico, Alaska feels like the outlier, even though I understand why that also you might be unhappy living in Alaska. Alabama, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Kentucky.
So it's just like almost all the South.
Yeah.
Just throw the whole southern part of the United States there.
You think about all the issues that you can have, and there's many people in those states. It doesn't mean that like the average person is upset, but you have a higher percentage of people that probably do have things to have a lot of problems.
I mean, there's problems everywhere. What?
The happiest states, if you'd like to move somewhere to be happy, obviously Hawaii was up there. Number 2, you would not be able to guess this.
Okay.
Maryland.
What?
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't know. I lived in Maryland for a long time, grew up there. I still have family there. They don't seem that happy to me.
Doesn't Baltimore have like one of the worst crime rates in America? Did they calculate crime into this?
If they did, it's no wonder Tennessee is so near the bottom because Memphis is there. So
that's true. Memphis is really bad.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe they didn't.
But then there's Illinois. Chicago's bad.
Illinois was right near smack dab the middle, 17.
Okay.
17th highest happiness.
Obviously, they factored in several things. So crime's not going to be the top thing, but that does seem a little odd to me that Maryland's like so high.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on in Maryland. There's more to Maryland than just Baltimore, Allie. This might be a shock to you. Just like there's more to Detroit than Michigan. Michigan than Detroit.
There's more to Tennessee than Memphis.
Yeah. There's more to California than Los Angeles.
That's why I don't like these lists. Is it just like, or they put states in boxes and I'm not okay with it.
Well, there's a reason that states would have, you would put a state in a box because it's all under the same government. Whereas like the things going on in Baltimore don't affect the things in Havre de Grace necessarily.
Obviously, the RadioU studios in Ohio. Ohio's never high on these lists, and I feel like I am extremely happy living in Ohio. So I just feel like it doesn't reflect the true, the opinion of most people that live in that state.
You're single-handedly bringing up the ranking of Ohio from 40 or from would be 43 without you. Instead, it's 40. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.